She got the silver medal in Beijing and then came back in 2011, won the world title, and then followed it up with the Olympic championship last year in London. Sally Pearson is who we sat down with on this week's Inside Athletics.
Hey, I'm Sally Pearson and you're watching Inside Athletics with my favourite, Addo Bolton.
I am thrilled to be joined by the reigning queen of Australian athletics right now, Sally Pearson. Sally, you're coming back off of an injury that sidelined you for most of this season. Tell me where you are right now.
I'm at a point in my career this year that I have to be very patient. I think a lot of athletes hate that word the most because we always like to be at our best. We always like to be going, and you know, it's just one of those things that you have to deal with. I think as an athlete, when you get injured, you have to play the waiting game. I injured my hamstring in the Australian season, which is at the start of the year in February, right. And that ruled me out. It didn't rule me out for most of the season, but I chose not to do the rest of the season simply because I knew I was on the team already, and all I had to do was get a good, strong base ahead of me leading into Europe, and that's what I did, and then had another scare in a relay run, and tore my hamstring again, but not as bad. It was only 1 centimetre, and it really, you know, made me realise how much our bodies are so important to us and how much we have to look after them and listen to them when they are needed to be listened to. And that I learned a big lesson from that second tear, but it got me back. I got back quicker, a lot quicker than I thought, because I had a physio following me around the whole time, so I could constantly get treatment on it. And you know, now it's the start of the season for me. I've run my second competition onto my third one, so I'm playing catch up, but I'm at a position where most athletes are at the start of the season.
I read a story where you actually lost sponsors after the Olympic Games, one of your best races ever, and certainly the high point of your career. How is it that in a sports crazy country like Australia, the queen of athletics comes back home and she loses sponsors? How does that happen?
Well, I don't know how it happens, but it did. It was very disappointing. I thought I did Australia really proud, and there was only 7 gold medalists from the Olympics for Australia.
Wasn't a great Olympics for Australia.
It wasn't a great Olympics, and I believe that I was probably one of the bigger names that got a gold medal. I was one that everyone had their hopes on to win, and I did. And I worked really hard to get to where I was, and I prepared really well. And I guess the sponsors that left me spent a lot of money on the Olympics, and you know, didn't have anything left in the budget for the next year around. But it's very disappointing, as you would know, that you do work really hard and you give up day jobs, you give up chances to work in businesses so that you can do this for a living, so you can be an athlete and you can represent your country. And the sponsors are your income, they're your employers, and they get you through the hard times to get you to the best. And that's what I was hoping was going to happen. But you know, you win some, you lose some, and hopefully I can prove myself this year and, you know, see what they lost.
I think my right ear is still recovering from the scream that you let out in Beijing. I think NBC must have had some cameras or something. So I obviously called both of your wins, your silver medal in Beijing and your win in London. It didn't seem to me like there was too much difference in terms of your elation with both. Was it the case of, okay, so you'd won your first medal in Beijing and you were thrilled, and then, okay, in London you were expected to deliver, you were reigning world champion. Tell me about the difference between those 2 medals and your reaction to them.
The one in Beijing obviously was a lot more exciting for me because it was my first Olympics, my first Olympic final, and then all of a sudden I have this medal around my neck, and it was fake to me. It
was fake to you?
It didn't look real. I'm like, what am I? I've got to give this back to someone, surely. Right. But at the same time, I knew I had the ability to be able to produce that result. But that was my sort of career starting point as to believing in yourself and you know, working hard to get those results, and having goals and hoping that you can achieve them. And that was my first experience at working hard, having major goals at an Olympic Games, and then achieving it was just out of this world. I couldn't believe that I could do so well at that and deliver on everything that I wanted to do, and to come away with an amazing achievement and have it really in your sights was something that I never imagined could happen.
Were you surprised at your silver in Beijing?
I wasn't surprised so much. I was just excited about the preparation that I had leading up to it, and everything that I wanted and it coming real. I think that was more exciting. I think you understand that when you work so hard for something and something finally happens, you're like, wow, this has worked. This is more exciting than anything. And I wasn't surprised that I won a medal. It was just more the fact that it was exciting that everything came together at the right time. And so in London, when you have the 4-year build-up of having that belief in your head that you can be the best athlete in the world, and the preparation that you do can become a gold medal winning performance, that's when I start having, not doubts or anything, but having the pressure build up on me. But I was so glad the Olympics were away from Australia, simply because I didn't have to see everyone's expectations on me. So it was more the fact that I can do this, I know I can, I just have to deliver on the day. And I've done this before, I've beaten these girls a million times before now. You're at the pressure stage, this is where it counts the most, and you've been wanting this for 4 years now, you've been building up for this, and let's just go out there and smash it. And when you cross that finish line and have your name come up on the board, I went down because I was just relieved. Like, thank God I've done that, you know. Right. It's just, it was obviously a happy moment for me, an exciting moment, but at the same time, more relief than anything.
Now, I follow you on Twitter, and
good, thanks.
Yes. And at the U.S. Championships, Brianna Rollins, young upstart from the United States, ran 12.26 to smash the American record held by Gail Devers. Tell me where you were when you heard about the time and your first thought.
I was in bed and it was like, I don't know, I think they were racing at midnight London time, and I was like, I gotta stay up for the finals, I've got to stay up for the finals. Right. I just kept refreshing. I knew it was going to be fast. I actually thought it was going to be world record. I really thought that she was going to break the world record, so I had to see it. I wanted to be like there when it happened, and I just thought, whoa, that's fast. I knew it was going to be fast. She'd been running fast all season, of course it was, and you know, I'm just glad that I'm not going for my first world title this year because it's going to be tough. And I'm actually a little bit proud about how fast she ran, because I feel I was a bit of part of opening up a world of possibilities. I think I showed everyone that we can run that fast. We can run 12.2s. We can run as fast as those girls did in 1980s. Mm-hmm. Why not?
Right.
And so everyone has to step up their game now. After I ran 12.28, it's sport. Everyone wants to beat each other.
That's right.
And so the only way to beat each other is to run faster than each other.
Right.
And I was expecting it. It's going to come.
As you look forward to the World Championships, do you focus on somebody like a Brianna Rollins, or are you well aware of the fact that, look, I can overlook Dawn Harper or any of these other young ladies at my peril? I mean, we hear it all the time, but do you have a focus of, okay, she's going to be the person to beat, or I need to be at my best in case anybody else steps up as well?
It's a very hard question to answer. I've never been in this situation before. With
which situation?
The not best preparation situation. I've been injured for a lot of the year, and I'm only just starting my season in a situation where I would like to run faster, but it's not happening yet, and I'm trying to get my rhythm back to run faster at the end of this month and then into August. So at the moment, Brianna Rollins is so far ahead that I feel like it's untouchable. The time, not her, I guess. Because I've never raced her before. I don't know what she's like. I don't even know what sort of person she is. I don't know how she is going to race off US soil in the European season. It's her first professional year. So at the same time, you want to concentrate on yourself. That's the ultimate thing that every athlete wants to do.
Track athletes are very good at that.
They want to concentrate on themselves. They're very selfish people. They want to look down their line, especially sprinters. They want to look down their line and say that they are going to win this race. You don't go onto a track wanting to come second, but you also have to be realistic about what you can do. I believe I can win. I still believe I can win. I believe I can get on that podium. It's going to be very tough. It's going to be very tough, especially with Dawn Harper being so consistent. She's ready to peak at, you know, she's running 12.6, 12.6, 12.6. When's it going to break? When's it going to break? She's going to, you know, get that faster time. Brianna Rollins, like 12.3, 12.3, 12.3, like 12.2, holy crap. And now what do I have to do? You know, like 12.6, 12.7, come on, what's going on here? But I have to be patient, as I said at the start. it's annoying and it's frustrating because you want to be in that mix, you want to be competitive, but you know you're not 100% ready for that yet. But I think in 6.5 weeks' time, I will be.
I have to thank you and your fellow hurdlers because I'm a broadcaster and you guys line up every single week. It seems like there's no ducking.
Yeah, no.
I thought that your performance in 2011 at the World Championships was the best hurdles. It's certainly the best hurdles race I've ever witnessed with my own two eyes.
Great.
And your race against Dawn Harper in the Olympics last year,
Yeah.
I thought was one of the best races of the entire game. So on behalf of all track and field fans, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.